Then I remember it was like Friday, I think like around like 3 o'clock, he's announcing, Paulo Banchero, DeJounte Murray, Tari and Marjan, all those guys that are already from here, Isaiah Thomas.
Mhm.
Um, then he names uh what did he name? He was naming all those guys, and I think Brown was like the very next guy he named, and then the whole city just shut down. Everybody's tweeting about it. Everybody's calling people, Khalil, you playing this weekend, or like blah 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 blah. It's just crazy. And as soon as they announced Brown was coming, I remember somebody posted a picture of a guy who was posted outside of SPU with his tent, just ready to camp out. And this is around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So it's like, man, the game's not to the next day at 5:30. So he's out there for 12 hours. And then over hours, you start seeing more people camping out, more people. It went from like one person to 15 people to 50 people to 100 people. Then they announced Jason Tatum's coming. And then the whole city just shut. Like, it was crazy, bro. I ended up going down there around like 3 a.m. I have this energy drink that I'm sponsored by called All In, and they're from Seattle, and they have San Francisco ties. So I had some of their drinks in my car, and I went down there around 3 a.m. And I promise you, bro, there was over 400 people just
Wow.
lined up in tents. They had guys who brought a basketball hoop, and they were running 3-on-3, 2-on-2, like right outside the school, and it was just crazy. But the energy was unmatched, and I've never really seen anything like that. Like, the closest I can remember that is like when the Concord 11s came out, people were camping out, things like that. So just having that type of energy just shows you that, Seattle needs a team. So having Braun there and being able to experience that, even though it was only for a quarter and some change because we had to shut the game down. It
Hmm.
was wild, bro. It was crazy. And LeBron's he is my favorite player of all time. I've been watching him since I was a kid. He's my idol, all that stuff. So just being able to see him up close and touch him and have, a conversation with him and things like that is crazy, bro. And I couldn't ask for anything more. So I just want to shout out Jamal Crawford for putting all that together and making that happen.
Yeah, and just I mean that it was just such an amazing event, just seeing that excitement. And I'm with you. Like Seattle's a city that needs an NBA team like that. The passion that that city has for basketball is just so crazy. Like I've spent enough time up there to kind of know, and I've known enough people who are from the area who are like, and they're just basketball crazy. Uh, and I'm hoping that the NBA finally comes to their senses and puts a team there and brings it back to that city. Just kind of talk a little bit about kind of like how like you've been able to kind of stay connected to the pro am a little bit, and because obviously you're from up there, so there is the sense of like there's a communal connection because like guys like Jamal Crawford who are from there, guys like Nate Robinson who come back all on a fairly regular basis, and kind of what the pro am kind of means for to Seattle.
Man, I mean, like I said, we don't have an NBA team right now. So when we do have these pro-ams in the summer and we have all these guys coming from, different NBA teams, or even the guys who are from Seattle just come back and play, that is our version of the NBA. It's the event's free, so kids can come in, parents, guys who were, around back when the Sonics were here can now watch, a Sonic team, some play like 4 games every weekend. You just get to watch pros, bro. It's just dope. And the fact that, you know, a lot of it are guys from Seattle that just want to come back and, just do their part, Guys go to the NBA, they could easily never come back. They got millions of dollars. They're starting their family. They're getting, their careers established. They can honestly just never come back, but they choose to. So that just means the most. And I think that's why Seattle is one of the best basketball communities because no matter how high we make it up, we've had all stars, we've had number one picks, we've had, lottery picks, all that stuff. So the fact that these guys choose to come back is just what makes it easier for guys like me on the way up to want to do that
Mhm.
when it's my turn, things like that. So you just
Mhm.
keep paying it forward. And then the next kids that watch me, they can do the same thing when it's their turn. So, that's just our culture that we got up there.
Yeah. I mean, and this just been one kind of event that's been kind of, it seems like a pretty exciting and eventful summer for you. In addition to that, I saw that your EP was released, Finding Myself, and then you also obviously got to go through the graduation ceremony at USF at the beginning of the summer. Just kind of what's kind of been like the highlight for you this summer, because obviously there's been a lot, and coming off of an NCAA tournament berth just a few months before that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I can honestly say 2022 has been, one of the best years of my life. I don't want to downgrade each moment by saying another moment's better. But,
Mhm.
graduating, college means a lot to my mom and means a lot to me and my family. So that's definitely up there. And having my mom out there with me and her being able to see the ceremony, she didn't get to go to a university. So for her to see me graduate and for my brother to graduate just a couple weeks before me, that means the world to her. So that's definitely one of the best moments up there. Being able to come back and have summer workouts with my team that's coming up this year is definitely huge for me too. Because in the summers, that's where you build chemistry. That's where you get to you know meet the new guys who are from different teams or freshmen or from different countries and things like that, and just kind of build that chemistry and kind of get to know how guys play, so that when the season comes, you guys are already ready. So that was another huge moment for me. And then obviously I gotta put the LeBron up there. That man, that's my idol, man. So I was able to talk to him, have a quick little conversation with him, and just watch him work out. Um, After the game was shut down, SPU has a practice facility at the bottom that the Storm practice at.
Mhm.
So after the game got shut down, DeJounte Murray, who's one of my closest friends, that's like my brother. Him and LeBron had a workout session downstairs in that gym, and I was able to be in that gym and watch them work out, see how intense it is, see how locked in DeJounte and LeBron were, and things like that. I got to meet Rich Paul. Just a lot of these important people who I've always looked up to or just seen on TV. I was able to be in the same areas as them and kind of feed off their energy and things like that, get some free game, stuff like that. So I would say those are my top three moments of this summer
Mhm.
for sure.
I mean, as again, like every moment's like you don't want to downgrade each one of them because they're all exciting. They're all kind of up there, and yeah, every single one it seems like you had like it's been a great summer for you. And now, so coming back to USF, and obviously that was a decision you had to make in the course of like the last over the summer and everything else. The finally making the decision to return to USF, coming off that NCAA tournament berth with some of the guys who are leaving, but then also some of the guys who are coming back, coaching changes, all of that. What kind of went into the decision to come back to USF, and what do you see as kind of like your guys' potential for this coming year?
Oh man, I've said it a million times, man. This is my second home. I love San Francisco. I love the people here. I love, you know, what we've been building over the last 5 years or so since we did get that new coaching staff with Coach Smith coming in. Um, so yeah, man, and then just knowing that I've been a part of that and knowing that I've helped as much as I can since I have been here, just knowing that there's more that I can do. It was only right that I came back and finished it off right, the right way. Um, and the potential for this team is through the roof. We reloaded. We got we lost four guys in our starting five, but we got four good transfers who should be able to come in and really help us right away. So yeah, this since we hit the tournament, that's now the norm. That's the expectation every year. So and we're not going to shy away from that. We're going to do everything we can to, make sure we're in the right position to be successful and make sure we give these fans and this community everything they deserve. So, tournament berth is definitely, the minimal, but I want to go there, win games. I want to be able to perform how I know I can perform. Because last year I didn't go out the way I really wanted to, and that kind of hurt my team. So we're gonna definitely get it back this year and show what we can really do. But the potential for this team's through the roof, man. We just got to put it together and stick together through it all.
I think one of the things just watching that team toward the end of last season, because you could just see the confidence in you and your group and your team grow as the season went on. And obviously, like with a team that hadn't been to the tournament in so long, like there's always going to be like doubters and everything else. And definitely early in the season, I probably would count myself as one of them. I kind of wanted to wait and see what you guys could do. But
Mm-hmm.
once I saw you guys in November and December, I was like, this team has a shot. This team can get to the NCAA tournament. And then seeing just how confident you guys grew over the course of the season, and just stood out so much to me, and just and because you guys obviously like everyone knows like the Gonzaga and St. Mary's kind of sit at the top of like the conference. I mean, they're kind of the big dogs, but you guys never shied down from either of those teams, never kind of shied away from them. And just kind of talk about just the confidence that what last season toward the end meant coming into this year and how you can try to build off of the success of last year.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, you got to believe. That's the first thing. You can't do nothing extraordinary, nothing special if you don't believe and if you don't put in the work. And I feel like last year, from this time right now, last year, the norm was getting to the tournament. That was the goal. That was everything we were aiming for. And we put in the necessary work. And coach went and got the necessary guys that was going to help us do that. So so the same year, that's the norm. That's all we talk about. Not only getting to the tournament, but winning some games when we do get there. Coach when they got the necessary guys that we need to make that happen. So, just believing, putting in the necessary work so that it's not just belief, but it's actual like, we know we can do this because we work so hard. It's gonna mean the world when we actually do it.
Mhm.
Just putting all that together and just making it happen. That's what we got to do. So that's how we're going about it.
Yeah. So talking about last season a little bit, because obviously I know what one of the team's goals was get back to the NCAA tournament. After once you're sitting when you were sitting there on selection Sunday watching the show and going through all of that, I will have to say, like, was there any sort of like, was there how kind of as the show started going, was it exciting? Did you start to get anxious because you guys didn't even pop up on the screen, I think, until the last bracket
Yeah, yeah.
that during the show? And it's like, was there starting to be like, oh my god, did they forget to put her name in there? Or what was the feeling like in the room? And then obviously once your name was announced, uh how did that change, or how did it just kind of grow from there?
Yeah, no, it was, man, it was definitely a roller coaster of emotions. Because after we lost to Gonzaga, in a conference tournament, we felt like we did everything we could possibly do to put together a resume to show that we're NCAA tournament team. So, man, I remember this like it was yesterday. We were sitting down, waiting for our name to be called, and we knew that there was, um, around 2 to 3 slots that we could potentially be in. And after those first couple brackets went by and we didn't see our name, we start getting nervous. I'm looking over at coach and he's kind of, like trying to keep it cool, but you could tell he's kind of stressed out. There's a clip of JB where he's like rubbing his face and he's like, oh man, this is way more stressful than I thought it was gonna be. Cause like we're all like, man, are we gonna get picked? Are we gonna have to play in the NIT? Like whoop, 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 whoop. So then, we're all kind of just anxious and just kind of waiting. But like, man, it was literally like the ending of a storybook, man. When they finally called our name, like you could see the emotion. We all stand up, we're screaming, yelling. Our fans are doing the same thing that was in the building. So it was just, I wouldn't ask it for no other way. It was perfect. But man, when we finally heard our names called, it was just like a sign of relief. Like just we can breathe now. Like not breathe like in the sense like relax, but just like, man, we did it. Like we worked so hard the whole summer, went through a lot of ups and downs, lost a lot of games that we shouldn't have lost. Just typical things that teams go through throughout the year that the media or that the outside world people don't see, just going through those things and, making it out and being able to, do something that hasn't been done in, since I was born in 98. So yeah, man, it was crazy. So yeah, man, I remember that. I was like, it was yesterday. It was a crazy feeling.